Well, g'day everybody, and welcome back to the Camera Life podcast and the official BFOP 2026 Workshop Instructor Spotlight series of interviews. Oh, it's been a long day, Michael. It really has. Folks, I'm Greg. I'm from the Camera Life podcast, and along with Justin Castles of Lucky Straps, we run a live to wear YouTube podcast twice a week, every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We host the Random Photography Show live, where we talk about industry news, industry events, new product launches, but we also spend most of our time connecting with our subscribers and our viewers live in the chat and talking about your images. That's right, you can send in your images and we'll bring them up on screen and we'll have a chat about them if you so wish. And then, of course, every Thursday morning, we interview live on YouTube amazing photographers from Australia and around the globe to find out what makes them tick, where it all began, and what they're up to on the daily. But that is enough about that. We are here to talk to, probably fair to say, a BFOP alumni, Michael Marlborough. How are you?
I'm very well, Greg. Good to be here. Looking forward to BFOP 2026.
Yeah, me too. There's a lot of energy that's starting to build around BFOP, and we'll get to your BFOP experience eventually. But it's only 70 days away, and it's amazing how everyone kind of gets whipped into a bit of a frenzy around this time. And we're not even close to booking workshops yet. It's just, it's great. It's great. But Michael, there's probably a lot of folks out there watching and listening right now who know exactly who you are, given your history with BFOP. But, for the newbies, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you shoot? What are you known for?
Thanks, Greg. Michael, I've been in the photographic industry for 35 plus years. My main, claim to fame would be I photographed a fine art nude. And that's what I tend to do outside of BFOP, because I don't do nudes at BFOP. But basically, I like working with the figure. I like working with light, the landscape. Over the last probably 15 years, I've been very studio-based, trying to get my imagery to something a bit stronger, taking away from the external aspects of the landscape and whatnot. So I really like the control that the studio lighting gives me. And we'll talk about that in a minute with the BFOP workshops. But basically, that's what I'll be rolling with for 2026. And that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah. No, I think that wraps it up really nicely. Now, as I've hinted at, you're no stranger to BFOP. And just before we went live here today, or before we started recording, sorry, I think you said you've been to all of them except the 2 COVID ones and maybe one other you've missed. So you've done about 7 or 8, or this will be your 7th or 8th.
Yes, correct.
Something around there. That's impressive. And just, off the cuff, what is it that keeps you coming back?
It used to be, I used to work for KL Australia. So I was coming into BFOP supporting photographers with gear and whatnot. And I was also running printing workshops and things like that. So I was there as part of KL, and also enjoying just the camaraderie of all the other photographers who are instructors and people who are there attending. It's just a great community. Craziness is probably the best word to describe how BFOP is.
Yeah.
We all know how crazy it is if you've been, and it's amazing. So really looking forward to it. It's a good little stop before the end of the year craziness that happens with everybody around the world. So it's nice to have a little break in October and get some photography done.
Yeah, it is a fairly unique festival, and and especially given your experience, I'm sure you've seen all sorts of photography events over the years. But the way I like to kind of coin BFOP is that it's like joining a cult, but you're free to leave at any time. There's that kind of element to it. That
not sure about the leaving bit, but yes.
No, maybe not. Yeah, so you keep coming back. That's true. Maybe that. Yeah. All right. I'll work on that analogy. But thank you for setting me straight.
I like it though.
It's got legs. It'll last. Now, of course, you're no stranger to running workshops. You've done countless workshops over the years. When it comes to teaching new photographers, maybe they've only been playing around with their camera for a few months and they're still a little lost. They're still a little kind of glazy-eyed when it comes to understanding what they're doing. What do you see as the greatest barrier to their success that they haven't discovered yet?
There's a few ways to answer that. I think the way I'll go is don't be afraid of manual mode, because all my workshops will be talking about manual mode, and we bring it all the way back to just the very 3, maybe 4 things you need to worry about. Digital photography, as we know, has all the bells and whistles on our devices these days. There's crazy things you can do in camera with your file before it even gets out of it. And that's all fantastic. But when you come down to repeatability and being able to get a result that you can go home from a workshop and do the same thing pretty much repeat it, I think photographing with in manual mode is something to be to put on the bucket list of having to know how to do. Manual mode is the thing that really makes it easier. I think you can have it on auto, you can get a picture, that's all fantastic, but then there's too many variables in that. So yeah, I try and stick with manual mode for my personal work, but also my workshops. Then I can talk about the same thing at once to everybody in the room and say, here's the settings we use, and you get good results. So I've done all the prep work for you. Let's just go and take pictures, and we can forget about all the other bits and pieces that our camera can do. Do that later. You want to get good results, here's how we're going to do it. Most of my workshops at BFOP have had 20 people per event, and the results are repetitive through the whole thing. I want people to walk away with images that they can work on in post, which what a lot of my work is these days. So yeah, repeatable work, manual mode. Don't be concerned about it, because it's something we just talk about and set it, and away we go.
Amazing. And I agree wholeheartedly. I kind of consider auto is, the camera's taking the photo because it's doing the heavy lifting, but when you're a manual, you're taking the photo with greater control and accuracy. Similar question, but maybe for the, the people that show up that, they've got some impressive gear, they've been around the block a bit. They think they know, most of the craft. What is it that gets in their way from learning new things, do you think?
I think it's very similar to what I just said, actually. I think it's all the bells and whistles that their camera can give them, and then it gets in the way of the creativity that, certainly from my point of view, of trying to get something interesting and creative and what have you. In the workshops that I know that we put together at BFOP, in the studios that I work with all the photographers there, we all try and make sure that we've got the framework ready to go, hence the manual settings and what have you, and then everyone's going to get a good result. And when it gets to the next level, people who have more experience, they might want to start doing something more creative, which is fine. But then they start changing settings and whatnot, and then it goes a bit pear-shaped. So stick to the parameters that we work on, and then get your basics right, and then you can go and do other creative stuff later.
Yep. Amazing. I'm curious to know, Michael, you run workshops, you're an educator, you're out, you're working on fine art photography. When you put those elements of your work aside, is there a genre that you just love to shoot for fun, just for shits and giggles, that's not either of those things?
Honestly, not really. Only because I don't have the time right now to focus on anything else. I would love to get out there and photograph some macro close-up plants and bits and pieces, which we tend to do once or twice a year when I've got time, mushrooms and fungi and all that sort of stuff. I've done a bit of that of late. But yeah, honestly, the day job sadly gets in the way of being creative. And at the moment, that's the way of the world for me. And I have short windows of time I can slot in work and family and whatnot. So I'm in my studio right now, and I've got a shoot coming up in a couple of weeks, and then it's BFOP time. So yeah, it's going to be
it'll be here before we know it. 70 days, like it's creeping up very, very quickly. There's a lot of good energy coming out of the BFOP group and community at the moment. Now, of course, we're not going to talk about the specifics of your workshops for BFOP 2026 today. The details, for those of you watching and listening along at home, the details for Michael's workshops and every other instructor's workshops will eventually be found on the BFOP Australia website. I noticed that the guys, the BFOP team, have already started adding some details to the instructor list that's on the BFOP Australia website, so people can already go check that out. And of course, you can join the BFOP group. It's called the official BFOP Groupies page on Facebook. That's a great way to get up-to-date info on what's happening, information about some of the events that are happening at BFOP. But more importantly, you get to get a sense of the community. The BFOP Groupies page is live all year round. There is activity in there. You have, members of the community sharing their images, asking questions, seeking help. But you also have some of the workshop instructors posting their private workshop tours that you can undertake. And more often than not, they'll offer a discount for BFOP groupies. So join that. Best thing to do. And then that will also be the way that you get notified as to when more information comes out about upcoming workshops. Michael, just before we kind of close out and run out of time, the time just is flying. Quick question for you. You know, if people want to see some of your work, some of your fine art work, or any of your work, where's the best place for them to go to check that out?
My website is pretty easy. You've got my name on screen already, so just put .com at the end of it, and that'll come up. So michaelmarlborough.com, and then Instagram is Michael Marlborough, all one word, _artist, and that's probably the place you'll see most of my work. The website's getting a bit stale these days because everyone's on Instagram, so pretty much Instagram. Instagram and the website would be the best places to go.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, that's good to know. So, folks, you've heard it here. If you want to check out some of Michael's work, go to his socials, and links to his website and socials will also be added to the BFOP Australia website in due time. I know that the team are working frantically to get all of that up to date. But Michael, absolute pleasure catching up with you. I look forward to seeing you again at BFOP this year. And look, I can't believe how close it is now. It blows me away every time I think about it. But certainly look forward to catching up and really appreciate your time today. And we'll see you then.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for chatting today, and look forward to catching you in not too long.
Yeah, before you know it. All right, well, you take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. See ya.